everybody, it's Keary Taylor, author of the Blood Descendants universe, Fall of Angels trilogy, and the Neon Rising saga, and a whole bunch more. Today I want to talk a little bit about something to do with the craft of writing rather than the business of writing, which is what I actually normally talk about. So this is a little bit different for me and not in my realm of norm. But this is something that I pride myself a little bit on, that I get lots of comments on in reviews and whatnot. That is how to write vivid secondary characters. This is something that I take a little bit of pride in and feel like that I do fairly decently. You know, you write your main character, you write your main love interest or whatever, but there's also all the supporting back characters in a story that goes into developing a full cast that helps propel your story along. So first, what I'm going to talk about is I think each vivid secondary character needs 3 defining characteristics. To give some examples, I'm going to go over a couple of my secondary characters from a few of my series and what I think makes them stand out as a vivid character in a positive way. So taking it back to my very first series, we have the secondary character of Sal. And Sal's 3 defining characteristics I would say is that she's mentally broken, she loves those that are really close to her and keeps her circle exceptionally small, and that she always sees the truth about people. Now, a few characters from my Blood Descendants universe. We have Elle, who started out as a secondary character, but I loved her so much and she stood out so much to me that I actually gave her her own series. So Elle's defining characteristics is that she's a very serious person. She's not one to be found cracking a joke or whatnot, but she takes herself and everything around her quite seriously. But she's also exceptionally quietly strong and really brave in a very quiet way. And she also had a crazy interesting interest in dangerous and poisonous plants. Next we have Markov, who loves making people squirm and making them uncomfortable. He has a very, very dark history, and he loyally serves a worthy leader, and worthy is the key in that because he has served multiple people, but he has defected depending on if he thinks somebody is worthy or not. And then we have Cameron, who is a flat-out junkie. He likes his recreational drugs, but he's also exceptionally funny, and he's always looking to cheer the main character up. And he's kind of a friend that needs saving every once in a while. He can't quite figure out how to be an adult in some ways. And then my next example would be Edan from my Neon Rising series. Edan comes off as kind of crazy. He's a little bit reckless. He's always running into things full blast, full speed. Not everybody gets his sense of humor, and not everybody can stand being around him. He is a little bit on the crazy side, but he's also exceptionally loyal and keeps his circle very tight. And he's also much, much smarter than everybody gives him credit for. So I would challenge you to go through and make a list of 3 defining characteristics about your main side characters and make sure they're very clear, they're very easy to define. I want you to think with your side characters that they must be interesting enough that if you were to follow them around for a couple of chapters and not your main character, you totally wouldn't mind going along on a journey and seeing what they do with their time. To this secondary character, they are the main character in their own story. So make sure they stand out and are well-rounded enough that they can handle that. Think about how this character spends their time when they're not with the main character. How do they spend their time outside of the spotlight of the story as you're writing it? And keep in mind that logically, this side character existed before they met the main character. So think about what that history was. What was their childhood like? What did they study in school? What did they do for a job? So make sure that you understand them and their history and who they are as a full person. So there's my tips on writing vivid secondary characters. Hopefully this helps in writing a better support and a better character staffing. And it also helps strengthen your novel if your secondary characters are just as vivid as your main character. Good luck!